Hello.
Hello.
I was just going to send a message to Ross and Mike and see if they were still in here.
Okay.
Just trying to find them. Yeah, it was 3 different problems.
Yeah, I think I just looked at your quiz and left you some feedback. The issue with the last grouping is I think, well, I know from looking at your answers, because your test statistic is positive instead of negative, I think you put in the information for Colorado and Utah as it was given, and it specifically said Colorado should be group 1 and Utah should be group 2. And that messed up, therefore it messed up your test statistic being negative, and it messes up your lower bound and upper bound.
I asked them that. I thought maybe that's it. Let me just see if they'll come right in. Yeah, because then we also, that insufficient one.
Yes. So remember, if you fail to reject, there's insufficient evidence for your alternative hypothesis. So you need to connect those two. Fail to reject, insufficient evidence for HA. Reject HO, sufficient evidence for HA.
So I need to come up with a little fail.
I write it down. I literally write it like, I'll share your screen. I'll show you. Okay, so let me, I don't have a cute saying for it, but I just literally, in my brain, I have a visual where I just, I literally just do this. I'm like, reject, HO leads to sufficient evidence, HA. And then, you know, fail to reject HO leads to insufficient evidence.
Okay.
HA. It's kind of like the type 1, type 2 error. I have that to me as a visual too. I don't have a cute saying. I think there is one though. It's like I can't remember. I think there's you could make one up.
Okay, so on the input and the outbound, even though we would have got the same number for the confidence, let me go get my paper. I left it on my paper.
No, you got the wrong. So I can tell you which ones you got wrong. I can open it up. I mean, I can tell you.
Okay.
I just had it open. I just left you some feedback. I hope I didn't close it. Oh man, looks like I might have closed it. Yeah. I think I might have closed it when I saved it. But so let me reopen it.
Okay.
So the ones you missed, but I think you've got it now. If you look at question 11, you did it right. You failed to reject, but if you fail to reject, then you need to look for insufficient evidence statement.
Okay, we talked about that, and we think it's the insufficient between the two.
Yep. We have insufficient evidence that the mean dentist bill between the two cities are different. Yep, it should be in the second answer.
Okay, yeah, that's after we looked at it again, Ross said, I think we're insufficient.
Yeah. And then the other ones you got wrong are because you put in the wrong, and you've got it, because it's multiple choice, you've got to define it the way they define it. So they specifically say that they want mu1, so group 1 has to be Colorado, and group 2 has to be Utah. So if you put them in like that, you should get the correct test statistic. You got the right value, you just needed a negative on it.
Yeah, and
then your lower bound and upper bound are going to be opposite each other. So it messes with your lower bound and upper bound.
Okay.
So in other words, and it's a little bit off for some weird reason. That's kind of bizarre. So put in Utah and Colorado. So it should look like this. I'm gonna find it's so
Yeah.
funny. Sometimes I'm like, I get so many things up and I'm like, where'd the Google Hangout go? So, I can hear you. I know it's there. I just can't find you. Okay, so
I know. I have to open up all mine too. It's just like, where is everything?
So here it is right there. So you see I have Colorado, and I actually put it in there, but I put it in my group 1 area.
Okay.
And then I put Utah in my group 2 area.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then
you need to read specifics.
yes, because the math is dependent. They're defining it as group 1 minus group 2 in your Excel spreadsheet. So you need to make sure you're defining it the way the quiz is defining it, or it messes with the math, well, what the output values are. So you guys got 0.845, but you should have had negative 0.845 because the subtraction's opposite of what you did. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It totally does.
So they wanted 15.2 minus 16.667. They wanted that subtraction, which is a negative value. And you guys did it the opposite, and that's why your T is.
Okay.
And then note your confidence interval.
Totally the opposite way. Okay.
Yep.
Now that's always kind of my issue. I think I miss a keyword or two, and okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much for explaining it. I will post this to Ross and Mike so they can watch it.
Oh, good idea. That's an awesome idea. Good for you to record it. Yeah. So then, yeah. So that's all they need to do is, yeah, and actually stick it on as a supplement to the your discussion board. That's perfect.
Okay, I will.
If that's easier for them too. But yeah, the order does matter.
Okay.
And that'll fix, like I said, you've got that straight now, the insufficient versus sufficient. And then the other 3 were literally just because you had the group 1 and group 2 backwards. That was the only problem.
Awesome. Thank you for explaining that. Appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Have a good night.
Thanks. All right. See you. Bye.
Thank you.